Okay, check this out. Okay, so I do my homework and I grabbed a screenshot of this back in the day. Now, this video is titled Molly McMichael Identified as the DoorDash Driver, but it wasn't always titled Molly McMichael Identified as the DoorDash Driver. Okay. And if you go look at this lovely video date, May 16th, 2025. So there's no way to get around the fact that this video was 100% made on that date. But you are able to change the video titles of videos after the fact. And so unless you can go back and get a screen grab of when it first was up and what the title was then, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah, but we say her name in the video. It doesn't matter what the video is called.
Oops, we've got a mix-up to clear up about the DoorDash driver. So here's what happened. We thought we'd cracked the code on identifying the Dasher. Court docs gave us the Dasher ID, and we thought we identified a Delilah and a Millie using some tricks on the DoorDash site. We have now used another method, and we have discovered a Molly McMichael registered instead. We had a mix-up with names, and it turns out there's court cases, registration issues, name it. Look at this. There's even more juicy details we're dying to share, but the judge has put down on any leaks. So for now, we're left hanging, wondering what's really going on in Molly's world. Stay tuned, folks. Something tells me this story is far from over.
Okay, this happens before she puts out and uses the body cam from Molly, okay? The important part is May 16th is the date of this video. There's no way to change that date on the video. There is a way, though, to change the title of a video and to put Molly McMichael in the title, okay? May 16th, 2025. Now check this out. If you go and you look, you're going to see right here, I'm Molly. Okay. Again, you could make a different thumbnail for your stuff after the fact. Okay. But here, this is the video.
This truck
first saw Molly McMichael getting arrested, but she actually grabbed it from another person that makes body cam videos. This date is June 13th, 2025. Now put that date in your back pocket, okay? June 13th, 2025. I'm gonna be searching for this, but it was either in this video or then the next day, because then I talk about translucent and I'm like, dude, who the fuck is behind the channel Translucent, right? And I said, you know what somebody told me once is if you want to troll and you want to be a really, really good troll, you have to troll yourself, okay? So I make this comment about, well, God, for as much shit as Translucent talks about the Gonsalves family, it's like, this video that she put out with the body cam is what made all of this shit blow up. So much so that it wasn't the body cam being put out by that body cam channel. It was the Translucent channel that puts it out. And literally, we show it over here. I talk about that fucking crazy ass. And I make a comment about, well, I would love to know who's behind that channel. Because I find it hard to believe that Steve would be trolling himself with that channel. But because it's so freaking insane, the shit that she puts out.
So we're insane, but she just implied Steve Gonsalves created my channel to manipulate the outcome of the trial.
This channel is insane. This channel is off its rocker. Because it's like stuff like this. When she did is putting out this garbage. But here she dedicated, no, Lana, we weren't tipped off. After that, because of what I said, I was like, well, I don't know how Translucent found this video.
All right, let's talk about how I figured out who DoorDash driver was. No, I didn't hack the app or get some tip off from law enforcement. It's way simpler than that.
I didn't say that you did.
Go to the DoorDash site, click on any profile from the reviews. Now go to the Idaho.
Look at this, because she's trying to troll. Watch.
Go to the DoorDash site, click on any profile from the reviews.
Kevin F. What a troll.
Now go to the Idaho portal, Find the document that has the DoorDash information. Let's first start with Zana. Plug in her Dasher ID here and hit enter.
You don't know if that's Zana's.
First start with Zana. Plug in her Dasher ID here and hit enter.
You don't know if that's Zana's.
Hold up, dummy. I think Viviana tested our method.
Okay, I'm going to give props to Translucent. But Translucent is 100% correct. This is Xana's customer ID. I followed what Translucent said to do, which was paste the ID number into the URL. So if you use the link and then just put in that ID number as the profile, it brings up Xana K. So that is Xana's customer ID that appears in the motion and limine document for self-authentication of records, which means the DoorDash order was ordered on Xana's account, not on Ethan's. So thank you, Translucent.
Yeah. What's the... We found Steve G's block. What is this?
And now it's finally time for the job that pays $10 million per year.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it.
Well, playing football may be one way to make 10 million. Ever heard of the Omerta?
Okay, so I'm like, fuck out of here. Then I said, what is this shit? Where is this sick shit?
He himself, not law enforcement, he says conflicting things constantly. And he says things that are very odd over and over again.
Pattern and say, this is normal for Brian. This is not normal. For Brian Koberger, turning off his device like that and disabling Wi-Fi before the murders was 100% abnormal and a huge red flag.
She's comparing him turning off his phone to previous nights, except that is a biased and misguided approach. He went to the surrounding areas of Pullman a few times at night as part of his astronomy and photography hobbies. Rather than compare if he switched off his phone to previous weekdays, a proper approach would have been to compare his patterns for when he went traveling in the weekends. Places without signal, and therefore at times his phone battery would have drained quickly as it tried to find networks.
So immediately when the phone power's back on, that's sort of where the FBI, their CAS team would pick up with cell records to say, all right, now his device is hitting this tower in this area, but the device itself wasn't super busy with files that were changing that we can see now. It was just sort of benign nothingness. Until around 6 in the morning.
Remember the fake news at the time that as soon as he turned on his phone, he connected to a police radio network?
What?
This expert loser has just debunked that.
He ended up speaking with Mother for over...
Wait, when did... What is she talking? When was this ever said that he connected to a what?
He connected to a police radio network? This expert loser has just debunked that.
He ended up speaking with Mother for over 3 hours the day of the murder.
So was it one whole 3-hour call or was it chunks?
The longest one was about an hour and a half. And then there was a 54-minute call and then smaller chunks. But some...
You guys, I have never heard in all the years I've been following this case that Brian's phone ever connected to the police. What?
Here's a receipt. Read carefully, Lana.
It connected to the police. What?
Remember the fake news at the time that as soon as he turned on his phone, he connected to a police radio network?
No, we don't. What the heck? When was this from? Wait, what? And so what I think is hilarious, she's like, well, anybody that said that back in the day, they just, these expert losers just debunked you. What? God, I'm dead. I'm dead.
This expert loser has just debunked that.
He ended up speaking with mother for over 3 hours the day of the murder.
These call logs, and the one call was 54 minutes leading up until 9 a.m. the day of the murders. And when we said that, someone else correlated it to, well, he was reportedly back at the crime scene around that time, and we didn't know that because we weren't focused on that piece of the investigation. We weren't aware. But the words that were being spoken would probably speak volumes to everyone as to what was he saying to her as he was what was he saying to her as he was doing that, as he's driving back towards this crime scene.
Except he didn't drive to the crime scene. The prosecution themselves have recently admitted that without timing advanced records, they couldn't pinpoint Brian's locations. Cy doesn't believe they didn't have this data, which implies the prosecution actually did know where Brian was, but it was exculpatory for Brian. Court records actually show that he actually went to a cash ATM right next to a dispensary that morning. These experts should never be hired again using the taxpayers' money.
Wait a second. Wait, because now we're going to get into this bomb I'm about to drop. Okay. Where does Translucent get the information that Brian Koberger went to an ATM and withdrew hella cheddar?
Here you go, dummy. Read this.
Hired again. Let's see. This recently dropped. Wait, what is going on? Hold on. 6 seconds. Thank you so much for that video. It says, actual suspect vehicle, Nissan Sentra belonging to Tyler Yelk. That's the name of this video. After I did my Tyler Yelk video. In this video, we exposed more evidence against football coach Tyler Yelk. The police and FBI confirmed that Yelk powered down his phone before going to 1122 King Road. But the investigation was dropped because the police chief is friends with them. We found footage showing his Nissan Sentra. What? Okay, then I was like, what is going on here? Then she did this video on the Yelks.
The GPS chip in a phone never truly sleeps, even when the phone is powered down. This is how investigators can track a phone's location. On December 8th, 2022, a friend of Kaylee's named Tiffany dropped a tip to the investigators. She mentioned that Kaylee had a job babysitting for a Vandals football coach named Tyler Yelk. We were able to determine his identity because in the recent ISP documents, it gives his year of birth as 1985. Tyler is the only coach with that birth year. We also found a partly cached Twitter post by Tiffany confirming this. Elis is Tyler's wife, and according to this tweet, Tyler was friends with Jack Ducour's uncle and aunt. According to the docs, Tyler never came forward to indicate Kaylee babysat for them. For Tiffany to drop the tip herself shows that she was suspicious of Tyler. Maybe he was known for making advances on the sorority girls he hired. Or maybe she knew Kaylee and Tyler had an affair. This would align with something Showalter said in that he heard Kaylee was maybe pregnant with someone working for the university. The investigators...
What is she talking about? And this is absolutely ridiculous.
Determined that Tyler's phone was at the 1122 King Road house the night of the incident. for him not to come forward is very suspicious. They also determined he had turned off his phone before going there. Was having a baby with a sorority girl something he couldn't let happen? After he was interviewed by the cops, Tyler and his family moved away from Idaho, despite both Tyler and his wife having prominent jobs at the university. All right, true crime enthusiasts, buckle up. Remember Bethany's statement? What the F? Why is Zana dressed in all black? Was it really Zana, or could it have been Tyler's wife? We think this was the defense's exculpatory evidence, since Bethany may have witnessed a female walk past her window. Now let's talk about Tyler's distinct accent.
Wait, what? Listen to this fucking shit.
Remember Bethany's statement? What the F? Why is Zana dressed in all black? Was it really Zana, or could it have been Tyler's wife? We think this was the defense's exculpatory evidence.
The defense's exculpatory evidence. Who the fuck is we?
Since Bethany may have witnessed a female walk past her window. Now let's talk about Tyler's distinct accent that we are going to play to you in a second. Could that explain why Dylan didn't recognize the voice saying, "I'm going to help you"? Maybe it wasn't a stranger, just an unfamiliar accent. Think about it. This could flip the whole case on its head. What's your theory? Drop it in the comments and let's crack this case together.
My name's Tyler Yelk, co-defensive coordinator, and I work with...
She put all this out after I had put out stuff about that interview. This has to be satire. No, this is real. This is motherfucking real. This girl, she thinks that this is real, okay? And I said, how do you know that? Trust me, when I do a video like this, then she'll do a video, whoever this person is, and just answer all of our questions.
So that's a complete lie. We can show receipts. We were emailing people about Tyler Yelk before her live. In her live, she doesn't mention Tyler Yelk once. She just basically reads the tip about a football coach as it was written. We dropped our video 12 hours after hers. Then she updated her thumbnail with pictures of Tyler Yelk and edits her community post to include Tyler's name. And she wrote about how innocent he is and how handsome he is after we dropped our video.
So this is the list of questions I have. How do you know that Tyler Yelk was driving a Nissan Sentra?
We checked his criminal history and found a speeding ticket from May of 2022. We FOIA'd the ticket. Next dumb question.
It's like...
The safety specifically during drill work and practice time from Madison, Wisconsin area, small town.
I'm going to help you. No, that's 100% the television.
In Arlington, grew up on a dairy farm.
Grew up on a dairy farm. Thanks for watching. What was she talking about?
Tyler.
Brother?
Maybe he was known for making it. Tyler is the only coach with that birth year. We also found a partly cached Twitter post by Tiffany confirming this. Elis is Tyler's wife, and according to this tweet...
Okay, here, hold on. Dude, all the document said is that his phone was turned off. That's it. This is where she takes this.
The GPS chip in a phone never truly sleeps, even when the phone is powered down. This is how investigators can track a phone's location.
So the document written by an ISP detective explains how he had the CastVis expert check Tyler's phone. It concludes the phone was off, but if you read carefully, it also locates him at the house. So reading between the lines, and I know over there at Lana's channel, they have difficulty with that. If you read between the lines, the only technological explanation is that there was some kind of satellite tracking of Tyler. Yes, that is called GPS. Maybe his phone was in airplane mode or off, or he had a smartwatch still on, or he had an iPad in his car. It only takes one device to be quietly communicating with the satellite, that later when the phone turns on again, that satellite location data will be updated with real-world information.